Oh my God, we're live on the internet. We're live. Hello, welcome back. How are you guys?
Good.
We're good. It's nothing quite like burping right when you come live on the internet, right?
Oh yeah.
Lovely.
I literally turned my head and just.
It's cool. It's a breath weapon, man.
1d4 plus Constitution.
Yes. Yes.
What kind of damage is that, though? Is it like poison damage or like psychic damage?
Yeah, your psyche is never the same after that.
Yeah.
Hello, Brenna. Thank you for hanging out. How are you tonight?
Wow.
Hey, Brenna.
Hello.
Oh, I'm going to do this one thing right here.
Ooh.
Do the thing. Do the thing.
Okay, I did the thing. I received an offline anonymous donation that I needed to post here live on this video. So thank you, anonymous donator, for your profound and incredible generosity. I do, in fact, do this full time, mostly amongst other things that I'm doing full time. But really, thank you. It means the world to me.
I do this full time, except for the times when I don't. When I'm doing something else full time.
Full time, yes.
Except for the
But
two other
when I am
full-time
doing
jobs
this-
I also have.
Still a full-time dungeon master, though.
For the
Yes.
time that I'm doing this, I am doing it full time.
Mm-hmm. Giving it 100% always. 120% even.
Whole
I
ass
realized,
one thing. Whole ass one thing. Don't
yeah,
half-ass
I do. I try to whole ass the one thing. I feel like I'm like mostly a mercenary now. You know, I'm like a dungeon master for hire. I'm like a contract DM. Like this is really like for love of the game that we get to like come here and play. I do like love the streams. They've been very, very fun. I went very
Sorry,
far.
can I interrupt you to just say,
Please.
so you're telling me that you are the Jason Statham of D&D? Is that what I'm
Mhm.
hearing?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Wait,
yes.
what?
Contract
Yeah.
for hire, you know?
Yes.
Okay.
He's like a transporter. Is that, wasn't that where Jason Statham came from?
I'm having like one of these. I'm over 40 now, so I have these giant holes in my memory space of like, I want to say I'm Leon the Professional, but I can't remember the actor's name, even though I should, right?
Is
Oh
that
my
Jean
gosh.
Reno?
Yeah, sure.
Wow.
Yes. Probably.
Hold on. I'm gonna have to confirm this, but continue. Okay, continue telling the story that I so rudely interrupted.
I don't even remember what the story was. It's fine now at this point. Yeah, it was a
I also
worthwhile
forgot.
interruption. Wait,
It is in fact Jean Reno
Yep.
and Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
Okay, Natalie Portman.
Yeah, that's.
Although that's
what
not
we
her
call
real
her in
name
Star
either.
Wars.
But you know,
It's not.
no,
Mm-hmm.
no. Natalie Portman's birth name is. One moment, please.
You
I
can
know
we
dox
did
her on
have-
the Dragonfly stream?
Yeah,
Natalie
let's dox her.
Hirschlag.
Wait, I thought you were gonna say it was Padme Amidala. It's not. What the hell, Troy?
How long have we been on the air and we went from burp breath weapon to Natalie Portman's real name?
Look, okay, this
How
is
did we
like
get- how did we get here?
Conversation with me is like the random button on Wikipedia. Okay,
That is true. That's the
And
truth.
we love that about you, Troy.
Yeah.
I love that about
Yeah.
me too.
Bug, thank you
Hey,
for
Bug.
the sub. I appreciate it.
Bug.
Fantastic. 21 months. That's like a record. That's like as many months as I've been doing this. So
OG.
yeah, that's pretty good. Go 21
Yeah.
months. Wow.
Huzzah.
We're
I had
coming
a
up on,
moment
like,
this
2
week
years.
where I realized because I don't own a car, so I have to like book a car share to get to my home game every week. Because someone that I saw on TikTok was like, "Yeah, hire me to run your D&D game. It's $20 a person per week." And I was like, "Man, that's so much money."
Mhm.
And then I was like, "Wait, I definitely spend about that just getting like to and from my home game run by like my random friends." So
Mhm.
it's like, oh, okay, this is like actually probably a very reasonable amount of money to spend.
Yep.
Counterpoint,
D&D.
it is. It's a
Yeah.
very reasonable amount of
That's what I'm saying.
You know what it is like? So I used to have a very different perspective of like the paid DM, but so much of the feedback I get from people is like the money makes it much more of a real commitment. People are
Mhm.
like much less willing to bail when there's
Mhm.
like a cancellation fee, when there's like
Yeah.
money on the line, right? They take it like that much little bit more seriously. And
Mhm.
then the whole like you can just shut your brain off until you sit down at the table, right? I certainly have a
Yeah.
lot of players that have like really engaged deeper and are thinking about their characters and like message me between games, but they love like, yeah, dude, you got this. Like nobody
Mhm.
has to DM, nobody has the responsibility, even for like the slightly more savvy groups that I have now. Because I don't have a ton, but I have like 5 main clients that are like rotating in and out, and like that's the universal like, yes, people show up when there's money on the line.
Yeah. Also, like, you'll pay $20 to go walk around like a museum for an hour.
Mhm.
Like,
Well, and people will
Or-
pay $15 or $20 to go do yoga in a
yes.
room with like 20
Exactly.
people.
Yep.
Right. And this is
Or,
like
yeah,
a
like go
curated
drink with friends, like,
experience
yeah,
for you
totally.
and your 5 closest friends.
Yep.
And like, I don't know. I'm of the opinion, look, here, we're just here to represent Rich. Okay. We're the marketing wing for DM Philly.
Welcome
And
to the
I just
DM
want to say
Philly
this,
infomercial.
like, pay for your art, people.
Take Spawn.
Pay for your art. Right? You get good storytelling, you get good creators. You want there to be artists out there in the world who do these things.
What's the song?
To the extent
What's
that
the
you are capable,
song?
invest your dollars.
Oh my gosh.
I appreciate it. It's been very fun and like rewarding to like see these like groups evolve from like total noobs to like fighting, you know, like whole kind of drow cities and summoning demons and like doing crazy heroic stuff, you know, like sneaking up on me, right? They're like plotting and planning and like show up with a plot in place that they're like, oh, we got Philly this time. It's very fun. It really is. It's been like very rewarding in a way I might not have expected, right?
Oh, right. The song. It costs that much because it takes me fucking hours.
Yeah. I don't know that song.
It's great. It's great. But yeah, it's for all the like artists, like whatever you do, like yeah, it costs money because it takes you a lot of effort and time to.
Well, and all the time that put into like getting to the point that you can do the thing, right? Like that's the thing. That's the cost that people underestimate. It's like all the time invested to like get to the point of proficiency that you can make the thing or run the thing or whatever, right? So there's like you're not just paying for the time that you're like
proficiency bonus
actually there.
At the very least.
Thanks. I'm a 16th level dungeon master. Yay!
Yeah, but you know you're gonna multi-class. You're not gonna get to 20.
Speaking of multi-classing, man, I went down a rabbit hole. So no spoilers, but I've been building wizard subclasses and I got very carried away, Melissa.
It's so good, y'all. I'm so stoked. Yeah, I got a very exciting message from Rich a couple days ago. So yeah.
Yeah,
hell
like
yes.
4 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. Like, let me say this here.
Because I definitely was like, I don't like any of these options for Duck. And I was like, I know exactly what type of wizard she is, but it just doesn't exist. They turned it into an artificer is what happened. And it was like, oh, well, Rich, what if we just like did our own thing? It's great.
Well, we came up with some fun stuff that's like at least a work in progress here. And it like then circled back to like Reginald as the Giff-Q and like our little like hit bashing the race in the beginning. And like, what do we like about like these options? Let's like find something better. And so this is one of these things that like you guys know, but every week before we get started, I always ask like, is there anything we need to talk about before we go live on the internet? And usually it's about food. And then I'm like, whoa. Hold the phone. Let's go live on the internet and continue this conversation. But so this time I was like, we should talk about this online because I think it's kind of interesting of like, if there's anything that you feel like we want to revisit or like tweak as far as like, I don't know how like Reggie's custom Giff-Q race feels to you now. Yeah, exactly. Many levels later, or even like any of these things, like we're not bounded by rules, guys. Like we are, but also like we're in space playing D&D. We can do whatever really we want. Yeah.
I want to be a portal ranger.
You are a portal.
You are.
Yeah, but I can only detect them. That's really all I can do when it comes to portals.
Oh, you just want to manifest them wherever you go?
Yes.
You just want to shit out portals throughout the
portal.
I don't know why that's where my brain went, but
we're working both angles tonight, apparently. It's very Rick and Morty.
I'm a flatulence ranger.
By the way. Yes, that was like, to bring it right back, the great like premiere of Dungeons and Dragons in our shared post-show recap space was Grandpa Flatulence, Pierce the Evil, who did like flatulently lay out a stinking cloud to much chagrin of those players in the community game. Way to circle it back. That's fun. Anyway, just food for thought. If there's stuff that we want to like revisit, retool, rebuild, like we can. We totally can.
It's so wild because I totally get that, and I think there's definitely an element of like, yeah, now that I think about it, maybe, but then there's that other part of me who's like a DM who's like, you played the card, like the card
live with your
played,
choices.
it's on the table, like
You took your hand off the chest.
Stick
piece,
with
my
it,
friend.
bud.
Sorry.
You took your hand.
But I do think there's something like, I think there's a difference if we're just, shit hawking before we play a little bit. I think there's a difference between, like, none of us is trying to like hedge and optimize to the point of like, I want it this way until I want it that way, and then no, I think it's like, if anything, it's like, oh, this could be more fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so into like the integrity of the game, right? And like that whole like, no, this is what you selected. That's it. But also like, I don't know, man. I play a lot of D&D now, and at the end of the day, it's all like mileage may vary, right? Like I want it to be like fun and rewarding and engaging, and exciting going forward, and all that good stuff, So like room to adjust as we go, certainly. But also, if you want a multi-class, like. Yeah, give me a reason to start building subclasses. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I just had like such a specific vision, and then I was like, oh, like none of the wizard schools are like at all what I want to do. And I was just like, I could like pick one, and but it's like, I don't know. I'd rather be less like powerful and have it fit the like doc as a character. So yeah, when Rich sent me a Word doc titled Arcanotech, I was like, yeah, this is what I want.
I don't know if that's a good name. It feels like, it's a good name, but also very
so
straightforward,
good.
like the Arcanotech, the college, or the split.
Dope.
But also, like, we can workshop that. Yeah.
And I was like, I basically, and the funny thing is, like, Doc is so, not at all personality-wise, but she's so inspired by Kaylee, and Rich has never seen Firefly, and it's just, like, blows my mind a little bit.
Do you need to watch Firefly, Rich?
I told Melissa, I was like, I'm just waiting for the stream where you guys lure me onto the internet to play D&D, and then it's secretly like, okay, now we're watching Firefly.
We can make that happen.
Taking over the stream.
We can very easily make that happen.
Strap in. I went back to it this winter, and I made it to the second episode. I watched the first 2 episodes, and then like I always do it late at night, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll pick this back up tomorrow, and then I just don't. I'm really into the meme of it all at this point.
Yeah.
The fact that people literally just call this show Firefly, and I'm like, I don't know.
You know what I'll do? I'll do like the. We're gonna do an LOTR marathon, but it'll actually be Firefly for the day.
Oh yeah, way to get the box out the time. Yeah, perfect. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, Firefly is the Lord of the Rings of space.
And it's probably about the same amount of time.
Taylor's really thinking about it.
No, don't even give credence to that. That's not like,
I'm thinking about it, Taylor.
These are not the same thing. No. I mean,
fine.
I know it's beloved, but it's not the same. It's just not the same.
Well, I did round you up.
I mean, Lord of the Rings is barely the Lord of the Rings of TV right now. So
I think, hold on, Star Wars is the Lord of the Rings of space, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
I mean,
yes.
Yeah. It's not good. Just as I'm like thinking about like
cast your lightsaber.
By the way, just a
into the
tangent
lava
off
of
a
the Death
tangent
Star,
to
Luke.
put a hat on a hat here. I finally finished Kenobi and quite enjoyed it. Very engaging. I'm a fan.
I mean, it had its ups and downs. It's not a flawless work, but the end, Troy, like, so, it's the thing that you said a couple of years ago that has absolutely stayed with me, which is like, and I'm paraphrasing here, but like the best Star Wars is messy, like good Star Wars is bad Star Wars, and bad Star Wars is good Star Wars, and like always the two shall meet, except when you're making Andor, and it's just like that, like Elite. But
Is it that Elite? I haven't watched it yet.
Andor's impressive. I'm going to say nothing more. I know you're very
Please,
spoiler averse, so I won't. But it's real prestige TV. How about that? Like
I will further refine your quoting of me from a couple of years ago on a podcast with Josh to say Star Wars is pizza. Like any Star Wars is good Star Wars. I'm just not going to get mad at it. I'm just not going to take it too seriously, and I'm not going to get mad at it. And every once in a while, there's great Star Wars. But like Star Wars is pizza.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely am going to take it too seriously and get mad at it on occasion, but I'm really pretty good about those. At the end of Kenobi, just like the highs of that show were so high when it was like working. It was really working, those lines at the end, man. Oof, good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, anyway. Star Wars. Now I'm just thinking about Star Wars, but really we're here for D&D in space, which is Star Wars, as we've established. So is there anything like big we should go over before we get started, or should we play the D&D?
I think it's worth noting for anyone following along, 3 years in the future who's now watching this, there has not been a special episode with the other side or anything of what's happened. There has not been anything. Where we left off last episode is, best I know, exactly where we are. Mm-hmm. Minus a Kevin at the moment. Yep.
Down to Kevin. So to that, the three of you, along with Naya and Waffle, all having been transported via strange magic in the ancient ruins of the Temple of Halcyon, once the Hall of the Glimmering Synod, ended up on an asteroid, hurtling through the void of space. You found yourself in this strange, almost centralized room with these hallways extending off of it, portals separated in each of these separate 8 chambers around you, like spokes in a wheel. Above you is a clear ceiling, like a wall of force separating the void of space from the room that you're in. Upon arrival here, unsure where you were, an orb appeared. Not an orb at first, but rather a small stuffed child's doll levitating in the air and speaking in a strange peaked voice. Some clever detecting of invisibility revealed, in fact, an orb levitating not far from the doll, manipulating it, utilizing it as a puppet, a sort of mouthpiece to convey its message. You came to discover this orb, Dottie, the dark occult transcription indices, a device forged thousands of years in the past to record the many enumerations of the various arcane grimoires and texts about occultic practices inside of it, has been corrupted. Having lost its mind, you came to realize that it had no intention of allowing you to ever leave, looking at you as perhaps similar to the doll that it was manipulating. A battle broke out. The group of you were split, Naya and Reginald above, fighting against the orb and a demon that it apparently conjured, while Lux and Doc were down the set of stairs in a kind of workroom, battling skeletons that had risen up all around you. So having dispatched the skeletons, all of you were able to kind of regroup while the orb tried to escape into the lower levels of this strange facility on this lost asteroid. Doc caught it on the stairs, managing to land the killing blow, detonating it into so many thousands of shards of glass. Dottie is destroyed, the skeletons laid low, the summoned demon banished. And so the three of you, along with Naya, stand battered, worn, exhausted, separated from your ship, the Dragonfly, from your friend Reya, and from I'm not sure what else. I talked myself into a dead end. Go figure. And so as the camera opens on the group of you, I think you stand at the top of this staircase leading down into the lower levels of this facility, this asteroid hurtling along through the empty void of velvet black, speckled with stars. These 4 large kind of crystals change to it levitating around the outside. And as the camera kind of zooms in on the 4 of you and your mechanical companion, what do we see?
Well, how we doing?
What on earth just happened here?
Do we need to worry about this meteor crashing and destroying all known life?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I think there's quite a bit more we must be concerned about at this point, knowing that the orbs can attack us.
Right, but I'm
one of those on our ship at the very moment.
Yes, I agree, but I'm concerned about the larger concern of like all life in the known universe disappearing. So
yeah, we can't let this hit the outer sphere.
I think that might be priority 1.
Yep.
Perhaps I was not tracking upon that whilst attempting to the dispatch of a arcane dark creature type orb summoning. Remind me exactly what this meteor is doing?
Well, this is the Myriad asteroid.
Yes, no, I remember that point. I just...
Well, you just said meteor.
Now that you say that, I'm...
Yeah, isn't
quite
something either
certain
a
I don't
meteor
know
or
the
an
difference.
asteroid? How is it both?
That's the thing. It's an asteroid. I don't know where meteor came from.
What is the difference between an asteroid and a meteor?
I don't know.
I mean, I feel like we would
You
know.
don't know?
Remember.
No.
Were you not raised among the stars, traveling between the various planets and the other ephemera of space?
I mean, yeah, but like, I didn't have to take tests or anything.
I mean, if you were to ask me, I would say that an asteroid is a small rocky object that orbits the sun, and a meteor is what happens when a small piece of an asteroid or comet called a meteoroid burns up upon entering Earth's atmosphere.
What? Where's Earth?
Huh?
The atmosphere of a planet?
Big
Yes.
rock in space going to crash into big sphere outside, going to explode universe.
Yes, no, I have learned quite a few new things in just the past 30 seconds. Least of all, is if I need factual information about the various objects in space, I shall ask Doc. Well,
But also
yes,
there are many portals that we should figure that out too, right? And the orb. It seems like we've got like 3 priorities.
It appears as though if we determine and direct whatever this asteroid is, yes, correct, asteroid, whatever this asteroid is doing, we would then control the portals themselves, yes? Well, to stop
maybe.
it from erasing all of known civilization, and then we can leave the portals intact.
Yeah,
No?
I guess. Sure.
Who knows?
You'll have to forgive me. I'm not exactly myself. And I think as he says that, like, you can just see like blood pouring out of like various parts of his tweed jacket, and like his I think it's at this moment that he like goes up and tries to like tie his bow tie back into like its proper place, but even that, like, his fingers are a little mangled and have little bits of like black at the tip of them.
Hey, Reg, you don't really look so good. Yeah, Lux will give Reggie Pat and do a 2nd level cure wounds.
What? We are. Naya, what do you think I look a mess?
Not
A
that you
little bit,
look.
yes.
13 healing back.
13.
How about we split up? Rich, look into the whole, like, there's an orb on our ship that maybe is killing our friends as we speak thing. Lux, look into the whole, like, there's a whole bunch of portals here and we should probably figure out where we want to go. And I will look into how does this meteor not kill all living things on Earth?
Well, should we go deeper into? Was there more? Was there?
So the stairs in this main central room led down to what looked almost like a workroom beneath you, like a kind of laboratory almost. There were all these shelves that had scrolls and books on them, all this like workspace down there. There was another flight of stairs leading down deeper from there. So you've only been to the floor beneath this one, and there's this kind of workroom that you didn't search deeply. You guys were just sort of poking around when the skeletons popped up.
So maybe we should number one, maybe we should just take a little breather for Reg.
Oh, well, for all of us, of course.
I could use a breather.
Say,
Very
breather,
tired, actually.
breather for all of us. Great. And then we can maybe do some exploring.
I mean, a breather does me very little, but sure.
Same, but
Yeah.
you know,
I
for
might
the
just
others, I
do
guess.
some like reading while y'all take a break.
Yeah.
Very fair. So notably, you guys can like see a lot of the stars kind of up through the clear kind of open sky of this facility as you're at. So if anyone were proficient with the cartographer's tools, navigator's tools, anything like that, you could try to like orient like where are we? Like where do we think we're going? What direction are we moving in? It'll be like a challenging roll, but that's a thing you could try.
I'm assuming that's a job for the pilot.
Yes. Well, Lux, I appear to have asked you a question that was not exactly your wheelhouse. Perhaps I could ask one that is a bit more in your liking. Where are we?
That's a good question. Yeah, can Lux tell where they are in the universe based on the stars?
You could certainly try, yeah, if you want to try to make a roll Navigator's Tools plus Wisdom or Cartographer's Tools plus Wisdom.
Navigator's Tools. Also, let me just check something here. I mean, space is my favorite terrain.
Oh, yeah, nice. Favorite terrain stuff.
I wish that I could provide you some assistance on this, but I'm not prepared for that.
Yeah. Okay, so proficiency bonus is doubled if I'm using a skill that I'm proficient in.
There you go. So with expertise, which you could probably, we could just do the math manually.
Yeah,
or you could like
fine.
tweak it if you want. After.
Navigator's Tools with Wisdom?
Wisdom, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this will be +3.
Yes.
Oh, buddy, that's rough.
14. So you like sit and you like kind of break out your astrolabe and like your various kind of like equipment are sitting like, you know, like
shakes her bag out like
yeah. Yeah, you're like setting the equipment up. You got like pendulums happening. You're drawing all these arcs. You probably have like a protractor and like a piece of charcoal. You're doing math. Yeah. The sextant, exactly. And you're just like, gosh, this is tricky. I'm like the orientation, you've never been in this part of space before. All of it like feels a little theoretical. You're having a heck of a time like establishing anywhere.
Yeah. So we're somewhere probably on the outer edges somewhere. I don't know.
Somewhere on the outer edges of what?
I don't know.
Space?
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't been over here before. Sorry. And we're kind of hurtling through space, so I can't really get a good read on things.
Okay. I'm going to go look around the workroom. Try to find stuff.
I
don't know if you want to rest, but
perhaps Naya and I shall stay here and secure the upper level whilst
you know, I actually might do a little resting too.
And allow Doc to go downstairs by herself.
No, I'm not going to do that. Okay, it's fine.
Well, she's
I mean, I can wait. We can all rest. You know.
No.
Last time
I took a little bit. I took a little bit of damage. Just
bit of your life was drained from you.
Yeah, I mean, yes, that did happen. But
yeah,
I don't know if that gets better on a short rest.
No, I don't know if that gets better on a short rest.
I wouldn't know for sure exactly the nature of it, but
also, did any of you know what this Amric person was that the orb was mentioning?
I have no memory of that name being mentioned. It's almost as if an entire week has passed. I'm fuzzy on the details.
Doc, however, with her didactic recall, fully remembers the orb mentioning that name. And it said that, what did it say, Taylor?
It said that, like, Amric was kind of the one that, oh gosh, I really screwed myself over with the notes. It says, we asked Dottie why she wants to crash the asteroid Amric.
Pretty sure Amric was the one who was this like a cynic, like a nihilist leader?
Yeah. Yes, he was like the cult leader yeah, for like
Amric
Hey,
was
look
this
at me,
person.
lore master.
Yes, lore master.
Look at that.
Wizard.
Taylor gets her
Look out.
episode count off by 1, and suddenly she can't remember anything.
Okay.
Fireball.
Sorry,
fired.
I'm
Lord
outing
document.
pre-stream
Talk to the Lord
conversations
document.
here.
Talk to the Lord.
Cantrips fired. That is 100%.
Look at me. Look at me.
I'm
the Lord Captain now.
Oh man, I'm the one that took Keen Mind Feat in my first campaign because I was like, then I don't have to take notes. The DM just has to tell me everything that I forgot. Because I'm a bad player.
I appreciate that. Every player just assumes they have the keen mind feat. So we stand you for actually taking him. So,
I mean, I don't know.
Amric was exactly that. He was like one of the cynics who kind of like radicalized and like led this group out of here that Dottie referred to as the nihilists.
Well, I would simply say that Dottie and the creepy doll that came upon us came from below. So anything that would be a threat to us is almost certainly either down these stairs or through one of these gateways. Or simply an action if we are hurled into some sort of cataclysmic destruction. But I think at least arrest could be sufficient.
Yeah.
I don't see any world that we're about to hurl into quite yet.
Never know.
I'm gonna
Be
use
invisible.
Arcane Recovery first and then regain it on a short rest. But yeah.
Nice, cool.
Short
So
rest,
you're
short rest.
short resting. Yeah, I think like very quickly as like Reg is talking about the doll, we see Nia like stuffing something down into their pack a little bit, kind of moving it as they lean back
Right.
against one of the walls and like drift off into a bit of a nap.
We do not like this. Okay, I'm actually have to pay attention here.
So do we get our like, because I think Melissa and I got our max temp HP or not our max HP reduced. Does that come back on a short rest?
Correct. 1 sec.
Oh, nice rolls.
Nice. Ugh.
Negative.
Okay.
Not after a short rest.
Okay.
They were like small amounts. It was like 4 and 3 for each of you, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I used 2 hit dice, so I'm like 1 HP short of my lowered max.
Okay.
1, 2, 3,
Bruh.
4, 5.
Bruh.
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 Rough.
There we go.
There it is. Yeah.
Thank
We're
you.
gonna save a little bit. We're gonna save a
I can't
little
even-
bit. And then
Here
I'm
we
gonna
go.
reduce some avocado in my inventory.
Avocado.
Oh, you've eaten some of the avocado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna go bad eventually. So
Random food preferences of player characters amongst my favorites. The like love of page trees, good stuff. I've like paid it forward with oranges elsewhere. So you guys sit on this upper floor, right? These portals kind of all like flickering around you over the hour while you sit, poring over your spell books, kind of like tending to some of your wounds, cleaning them, bandaging, getting water and some food, and then you Reg kind of scooping that avocado apart like a beast.
Okay, now I'm going downstairs. Looking around.
Okay, I'm coming.
Okay.
yes. One moment. I just need to just check one more thing.
Okay.
And he's like literally just like paging through his like various spell books, and he's like, this is like cramming before the test. Like, Reginald energy. I don't know that you've perhaps seen him this hurried in terms of his preparation for things. Yeah, okay. And then at finally he kind of dusts off, prestidigitates a little bit, cleans the tweed jacket, adjusts his pince-nez, adjusts his tie. Onward.
Great.
I do think that Lux, while they're short resting, has like kind of like just takes a moment to like yell at Kadras a little bit, like for just being like a total jerk. But like at the end of the short rest, like she just like kind of puts him back on her back.
Kadras, the like black bow of vengeance that you were given by the undead person you met on an asteroid not that long ago, as you were just like grumbling towards it during your short rest, the camera pulling in close, this small vicious face peering back at you from the side, like, you are soft, you will learn, you will learn.
Literally a boat.
I think she like waxed it on the floor a couple times.
I am vengeance, I think. I feel no pain. It's
This is incredible. At the risk of ruining this moment, I just have a mechanical question.
Please, yes.
What time was it when we like roughly time of day when we arrived into the like temple dragonfly eyes, all of that?
It was night. It was kind of like right around like 11 o'clock midnight, as there was this convergence of all the moons, like creating this celestial event in the night sky that like led you guys down towards the Temple of Halcyon, right?
And like, where are we relative to that all important word of dawn in the context of us being on an asteroid?
That's a great question. Let's put that right in the category with like, what is the gravity like?
No.
I think that so like it would, because you had spent like a minute getting down into the temple. You guys were like dealing with some stuff outside. It would have definitely been a 24-hour cycle, which is probably a better mechanical term for us to utilize over dawn. So I think you have achieved dawn. Yeah.
Great. So for the things that recharge or that maybe get some things, we're gonna great.
I think you get a dawn recharge. It's dawn somewhere.
It's breaking dawn. Some might say.
Dawn.
Part 2.
Well, we've already had the eclipse. Now we've had the breaking dawn. What do we need? A new moon?
Actually, we should get the new moon going. It's cool. It's cool. It's always twilight in space. That's the beauty of it all, you know. It's very cool because there is actually a lunar eclipse tonight, this very night, that I'm like very excited about. It's like the last one for like a real long time or something like that.
So 2025,
Yeah. Get hype. Way to date ourselves. I'll be staying up to watch it. Quit whoop. So, as the four of you, including Waffle, begin to make your way down the stairs once Reginald's ready, the tweed suit like looking good, sharp, clean, though there's a few holes, tears, tatters in it from where he was stabbed, burned, and battered most recently. And so the three of you like descend back into this kind of workspace. These piles of bones kind of like scatter around the room where Doc and Lux laid them low. They do not look like they're going to like reanimate in any way. The remains of like the burned up torch sitting at the top of this second level of stairs. As you peer around you, there's like a couple of large work tables with paperwork spread out across them, these shelves of books and scrolls with these various sort of like containers and vases up on the top of them, writing implements, dried like kind of ink vials and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, what do you guys want to do?
I think I'm mostly looking around for information on like how to redirect like whatever is propelling this meteor asteroid, I've forgotten which one it is, through space. If it's not like gravity, like how is it moving, and is there a way to like redirect it into like deep space where it won't kill all known life.
All known life. Yeah, I got that's a very good preventative measure. So as Doc is like specifically looking for that, what about you two? What are you guys like looking for? Anything of note?
Well, I'm going to chime in here and give Taylor a moment to catch up.
So now you guys officially break Taylor. Yeah.
I just saw that.
Sometimes you put some things in the chat that the stream can't see. Okay. So, you said inks and things and desks and whatever, and the Giff-Q is interested in any books or scrolls or just ephemera of knowledge.
Okay.
Walk around, explore, investigate.
Got it. Lux, how about you?
I think that's so sorry.
Lux is contemplating the relevance of asteroids.
I think that Lux is like, she's not like the best at like investigating stuff. So I think she's like curious about like this next room, like the stairs that keep going down. I don't think she wants to like leave Reggie and Doc, but I think she wants to kind of like maybe head down the stairs a little bit to see what the next room looks like at least.
So if you make a stealth check and a perception check, and you other two can make investigation checks.
Stealth.
And if I can, I think this would be the case, one of those where like his initial impression is to like really want to pour over things, but like the fact that Lux is like barreling forward is like sort of a like.
Got it.
Don't worry, I'm not going far.
There we go.
Yeah, I think Doc is like, wait, don't go. We're trying to look. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okie doke, Doc. You are quickly, Doc, like find yourself like, oh geez, Lux is like hustling, like rushing out of here. That is like your attention distracted as she starts like prowling down the stairs after you. You, Doc, like digging around through books. You've got like a handful of kind of like scrolls and papers in front of you. Waffle like helping as he's kind of going through stuff. But I think that like Waffle probably would like bring this to you. How does he carry things? Does he carry things in his jaws?
I guess it depends how big it is. His like front arms are pretty small. So if it's big, then yeah, he's got to like, but I think it's like a combo of like.
Yep.
Like,
Gotcha. I think he like grabs the edge of the book and he's like flying up with it. It's a little like, heavy.
Can Waffle, I don't use, I'm bad at being an artificer, y'all.
Yeah, it's really complicated.
Could Waffle have like helped with that?
Yeah, I think he can.
Okay.
I think he can.
Okay.
But I think that initially, like, as like you're digging around, you open this book, Doc, and I think that part of like Lux like rushing ahead and like you finding this book like completely distracts you as you like see the title on it. You like wipe the dust off and you see that it's an image of a hammer and a rose like crossed over each other and written underneath in the common tongue in this like very kind of illustrious cursive script. It says hammer and rose, and you open it up and you see all of these pages are folded over and dog-eared and like marked, like bookmark falls out of it. And as you start thumbing through it real quickly, your desire to find a way to stop this potential asteroid that could end all life in the known galaxy is completely derailed as you realize this is a saucy romance story about a forbidden love between a dwarf and an elf, and that the many like dog ears and bookmarks are on like sections that you find highly implausible and potentially unrealistic, but very, very steamy. And you're just like, whoa, as you're looking over this. Meanwhile, Troy,
I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say, and I just love the contrast of what our characters and our players want to find in these desks.
I mean, yeah, Doc is very much going to save that for later, and yeah.
Please go ahead, Rich.
Packing away the hammered rose in the pack as like Lux is like darting down the stairs, and she's like, oh wait. Meanwhile, Reginald, as you're like digging, you're pulling out these scrolls. First of all, you like pull out a scroll that you're glancing over kind of quickly, and you're like, oh wait, you're pretty sure this is an arcane spell scroll. Then you're like certain of it as you kind of crack it open and start to like thumb your way down through it, and you realize very quickly that this is in fact an arcane spell scroll of create spelljamming helm, which is a fifth. Create spelljamming helm, a 5th level spell which facilitates the infusion of magic into a construction. A spelljamming helm, not literally a helmet, but rather a chair, a great throne, a device that one sits in to pilot a spelljamming ship. There are different like types of spelljammer helms. They can be like changed out through various ships, but this is that. And I think right on that same shelf, Professor, you find another tome that you then are like, you quickly realize like this scroll is useful, like stuffing it into your pack, right? As you grab like this one book, and there is a mark on the binding that immediately catches your mind. It's the sigil of a legendary figure across history, one who possibly you would have studied to some degree or not in school, one who you've heard about in your travels with the Dragonfly a handful of times already. It's the mark of the great engineer Zeri. And as you like look over on the cover of the book, you see that it's called Constructs and Constructions. And opening up this book, you realize that it's a manual. It's like a very explicit, like kind of instructional manual detailing numerous mechanical devices, including spelljammer helms, spelljammer engines, and a variety of constructs. And as you're like looking through, you see it's like a collection of what claim to be the original like formula and works of the great engineer Zeri, one of the 5, the first 5 ever to travel throughout the stars in the kind of known history of your universe.
Yoink.
Meanwhile, Lux, as you make your way down the stairs, like moving silently, clinging to like the edge of the wall, you realize there's kind of like another one of these like switchbacks, the stairwell like following the same almost exact like kind of pattern as the one above you as it hooks around these 3 left turns. And I think you make it to like the second landing down this set of stairs and are able to peer around down into the darkness. It is very dark. I'm presuming you did not bring a torch or anything like that with you, but I think as you listen, you don't hear any kind of movement. It's just like this deathly silence, and blinking into like the darkness of the room, you see what looks like a few like tables with chairs around them, and then like you can't see much more beyond into the darkness, but nothing like comes like leaping up at you, and you don't hear anything moving around in this next room.
Great.
And then finally, like circling back to you, Doc, I think that as you're like kind of like tearing your eyes away from Hammer and Rose, like, okay, we're going to maybe need to hang on to this. Waffle like comes right, like flying over with this like book that seems like battered and tattered a little bit, kind of, and it's like open. He's like grabbed it up off the back of one of the shelves where he drops it down. You could see many of the pages seemingly destroyed, worn away, kind of weathered apart, having like sat open for so long in the space, not stored properly in the shelf. And so a few of the pages disintegrate as you start like flipping through it. But you get towards like the front of the book, the front section of the book, and you like catch this like section that's like legible finally, again, written in the common tongue, in this scrawling kind of like script of like, what does it say? It says, Fred claims we can build a series of portals here, but it's going to take some sacrifice. He says that there is magic tied to the great primordial creatures, and that if we can find one of the dragons, we can open portals to many worlds. And as you start like kind of pushing through the pages a little bit, you start to like realize that this place clearly was built by the cynics. And it's talking about, especially when you start going further back towards the beginning of the book, there's this discussion about the need to like shrink the galaxy, that freedom of transportation will allow true freedom, and the actions of the library to develop a higher system would only have led to further hierarchy and separation between people of the worlds. That true freedom can only be achieved once people can move anywhere, anytime. And the desire to lead is really just a veiled effort to control. And so it doesn't quite answer what you're looking for, but this like clarification around like these portals being built by the cynics and something to do with like draconic magic empowering them gives you maybe some clues.
I don't really know what to make of all of this, but I don't disagree with the point that, you know, access and choice and all that. But I don't know how that translates to destroy all known life. Like, how'd that leap happen?
The logical leaps that one could make when motivated by other things are as vast as the difference between the planets.
I think Lux like comes barreling out of the shadows. What did you guys find? What's going on? What happened? I couldn't really see anything. I realized I like really can't see in the dark very well. And I heard nothing. So downstairs.
We were just poring over the ephemera here, and certainly some powerful artifacts and notions, no?
Like what? Like what?
And I think he pulls out the spell scroll, and he sort of explains, the chair on the Dragonfly.
Mm-hmm.
It is subject to a spell such as this.
What do you mean?
This here is the arcane capability to turn a vessel into a spelljammer.
Whoa! What?
Yeah,
Wait, so could we fly this place?
Well,
Can you
turn this asteroid into a ship?
That's like 3 ships on our belt, and one of them is a freaking asteroid with like a gazillion portals on it.
Well, it is possible, I think. Though the current power of this spell is beyond my current abilities, but it does strike me. Why turn this into a ship when it might already be one?
You know what? That's a good point.
I would think that Dottie likely had some means of controlling or directing this, unless they were attempting to hurl this indiscriminately throughout space. And let me be clear, I do not need to know the difference between an asteroid and a meteor to know you're likely to miss if you pick your spot at random.
Space is really big. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Should we go check out the downstairs then? See if there's a helm somewhere?
Yeah.
Yes. Naya, what did you find? Oh, you're muted.
You're muted, Rich.
I think Naya's still upstairs, was like
okay.
napping at the end of the rest and not awakened by you guys, unless you want to like have them with you. If that's
no, I think Reginald will say that and then go, yes, still resting.
Mm-hmm. So what else did you guys find? Anything?
They're a growing mutant.
Keeping watch. I found some saucy literature for, share that later if you want it, but that's about it, to be honest.
Huh. I guess he would get bored on an asteroid flying through space.
Yeah.
I don't mean to orb by its cover, but I would not have thought Dottie the type.
I mean, I don't think that Dottie was here alone. We thought like the
kept
zombies
company by their imagination and fantasy.
Well, I mean, this was built by the Cynics, right? So they were here at some point.
Yes.
And Dottie was full of like necromantic
hateful
rituals
lies
and stuff.
and arcane capabilities that almost fell me. Not that I'm bitter.
No.
Quite frankly, it was
bitter.
Thrilling to be in a fight that was of quite high stakes.
With Lux back up here, do you guys want to press on for this next floor, or are you trying to dig around a little bit more? No problem. No problem.
We're trying to dick around is what we're trying to do.
Yeah, we're definitely trying to dig around a little bit. Do you want
motto of the Dragonfly.
Really is. The question is, like, with her back up here, are you trying to like really dig through the rest of these books and like take your time, or you would rather press forward and see what's going on downstairs?
Downstairs.
Yeah, I think Reginald would acquiesce to forward progress.
Yeah, Lux is bouncing around all over the place.
Forward, never straight. Okay, with that, the group of you
we can check it on the way back. That's what they always
sure
say.
Can.
We got time.
Famous last words of the D&D player. We'll get you it on our way back. Yeah. No problem. As the four of you begin coming down, do you have light amongst you, or is Lux mostly just going blind?
I think Lux would pick up the torch that she had when they started the fight that she like threw down. I would imagine that it would keep burning unless like put out specifically.
Yeah, and Reg would pop off the back of his decoder wheel, off of which he has a perpetual flame.
Okay, great. Yeah. I'm just trying to clarify, but so you guys do
all
good.
Yes.
So as you come down this next like set of like switchbacks, the stairs hooking around to the left again into a very like similar room, mirrored in dimensions to that above. The stone is like this deep gray. It kind of matches the tone of like the flagstones up above you. Can I have all of you guys make just like intelligence checks as you come down into the room? But you see stretched out in front.
So waiting for you to be like, dexterity saving throws.
Yeah. Can I just have you guys roll initiative as you come down in here?
Intelligence check.
Real quickly. That'd be great.
I mean,
then you have it.
Look at the big brain stuff.
Could have been worse.
Oh, well,
let's go.
That's just rude, Trey.
Sorry, Melissa.
He had to one up you, right?
Look at the big brain stuff.
Boom.
Reggie steps into the room.
I was ready for the nat one. I was so ready for the nat one after the look at the big brain stuff.
That's
so good.
It's fine.
I think all three of you realize as you come down here, there's like this layer of like kind of like dust and stuff over the table, on the floor, towards the bottom of the stairs. But as you're looking, like the torchlight, the light from like the continual flame reflecting off the wall, I think that you see this like sheen, this almost like shimmer against the wall. Like it looks like there is this layer of like something in between the wall and you. And as you look down, you realize it's on like the floor as well. It's almost like the floor and like the four walls of the room have like a layer of something in between them, invisible. And I think that especially with like the 20, I was going to say Doc would like catch it, but the 20 into a 25, I think like that you have some clarification, Reginald, as you're like looking at the wall and like looking down towards the seam of the floor, that it's like a wall of force. That there is like this wall of force on like the floor and the exterior walls in here.
And I would know, I would imagine Doc would as well, like that the way that this works is like it is on the floor and the walls, so it's not keeping us from entering the room. It is just keeping things in or out of the room.
Yes, and it is, however, as you look down to your left, you see another stairwell leading down, and you realize like this is what's like tipping you off. Like the dust is kind of like hovering over it, that the wall of force is preventing you from going down any lower. Yeah.
Why is it glowy in here?
There's a no entry wall. Brad, can you do something about that?
Oh yes. This should be in such a minute. I hadn't. Yes, I can. Good suggestion.
As the rest of you, like just scanning the room for what else is in here, you're noting that. So there's these two large tables, kind of like a kitty corner for the Great Jesterling, right in the middle of like the room, butted up against each other with these like stools around them, and there are beds all around the edges of the room. You're seeing beds and chests and end tables, all like situated here. And as like the light starts to fill the room up a little bit more, you see old stains of blood, long dried brown, kind of caked into like the desiccated bedding material, stained against like this. It's strange because they're actually not stained now that I'm thinking about it, but you see it like kind of spread out on the clarity of the floor. There are these like ancient blood stains in like most of the beds, though not all of them. This large kind of like tables situated all around, and a couple of chests and stuff.
Yikes.
There is one slight problem. I can do something about this. I could remove it, I believe. I don't quite remember if there may be some possibility of failure. That is to say, it will also cost quite a bit of my arcane power. And
I could also try a step across. Maybe there's a button that turns it off.
I mean, then you're going to be on the other side all by yourself. Can you get back?
No.
Okay, then don't do that.
Well, we could start with that, and then all else being, if that doesn't work, then I could use my abilities, or Dog, if you have such abilities. Yeah.
I do not have such abilities unless
There's
it involves.
gotta be like a. I mean, worst case scenario, I pop over there. We can't do anything about it. We take a nap, go to bed for a little while, and then I can come back.
No. Worst case scenario, you pop over there, something comes out of the darkness and attacks you, and then boom, deadlocks. That's worst case scenario.
Oh, I could imagine other worst case scenarios, but in the greater realm of possibilities, yes, that's quite a bad one.
Yeah, I mean...
Worst case scenario would be that one of you has secretly been a dragon for this entire... in fact, I have not asked.
I'm not a dragon, I promise.
Are you a dragon?
Not a dragon. No.
Are you a dragon?
Pinky promise.
I mean... yeah. I mean, construct dragon, but yeah, sort of a dragon.
Oh, wait, actually. Okay,
well,
so I can actually go over there, and then if we like do, if I just take a couple minutes, I can come back. Don't have to go to bed and get it back in a short rest.
A short rest is more than a couple minutes.
It's a couple minutes.
It's no.
My favorite kinds of assumptions baked into that.
Also, that's not Taylor. That's Lux. Taylor knows that it takes an hour. Lux doesn't give a shit.
Look, if we think it's worthwhile for me to use my abilities, I shall do so. Well, let's take a vote. Who believes that I should do this?
Yes. I want to see if people don't want us to go somewhere, it's probably a good sign that we should go
Maybe
somewhere.
there's an off button on the other side.
Do you see an off button?
Can Lux look through the wall down the stairs?
You move the dust out of the way. Wait, you crawl down there? You're gonna crawl all the way down on the floor and like walk over to the thing and like move the dust to peer down.
Okay, wait. So what's happening? So I thought we're looking at a staircase, but there's the wall of force across the entrance. Is that not the case?
Yes, you are. I just so you guys, I figured you're coming down the staircase and this wall of floor extends over the whole floor, and where the next set of stairs begin descending down, like through the floor, right? There is a wall of force over the kind of hole in the floor that leads
So we
down.
can walk about this room as we see fit, correct?
Sure. Yeah.
It's only going downstairs that we are prevented.
Yes.
So we're walking on like the wall of force?
Yes, the wall of force is on the floor.
Yeah.
Look for an off button.
Yeah, Lux will go up to where the other stairs go down and is gonna just look.
Okay. Lux, give me a perception check.
Yeah. Can I check out this room in the meantime? Is there anything else?
Yeah.
Absolutely you can. There's
Yes,
all these
dark.
beds and tables and chests and stuff, Melissa. What is Doc like? Where is Doc looking, or what is Doc looking for? Same with Reg.
Priorities are trying to understand how to control this asteroid and trying to figure out why there's so much blood.
Okay,
for
excellent.
Reginald, priority is trying to see if the source of the wall of force is emanating from a physical location, and whether there's any gaps in the wall of force.
Awesome. Let's have Reggie make an Arcana check and Doc make another investigation check.
It's so dark I can't see anything.
Interestingly, the problem that you're having, Lux, is like blinking down in there. There's this light glowing back up at you, and that's why you can't see well.
Okay.
It's like this mixed hue, almost like purplish and turquoise, kind of like dimly glaring back at you. Once you move the dust out of the way, it kind of blinds you for a second. You're blinking spots out of your eyes.
Hold on.
Yep.
I'm
You have a
going
million
to
abilities.
yeah, flash of genius. That's a 14.
Okay, excellent. So that's a 14. Reginald, as you're like scanning, you don't get the impression that the wall force is emanating from any objects in here. And I think that you realize actually your revelation is that it extends up the walls from this room to the room up above you. It was like harder for you to realize up there because like of the layout of the room, and there was so much other stuff to distract you. Like the light didn't kind of like refract in that same way, but it begins to give you the impression that the entire like constructed space here is sealed in a wall of force, that it may extend all the way up to the very ceiling itself, and that the whole thing is kind of contiguous. Though you don't catch anything that it's like emanating off of. You, Doc, as you start like digging around, you're walking around. So the two things you were trying to identify, why is there blood on all these beds? And I think you're like looking around, and you see that in fact, in like a scattered, loose kind of like pile are like the bones and the bits of what looks like a person like long dead. You could see like bits of armor like still kind of like clinging to them that look like badly damaged. There's like a chainmail that's like rent clean open in the back. The bones kind of scattered as though somebody had almost tried to like pull themselves onto one of the beds and then like fallen down and almost slid a little bit underneath it, and the bones themselves now like just sprawled out in that posture where they fell. So you like get the impression almost of like, as you're like looking around, you don't see any more like corpses or bodies anywhere, that like clearly like people were attacked. sleeping here in their beds, which is like very upsetting and startling to you. And you do, as you're like scanning around, you're looking for more information about like potentially how to control or to steer this thing. I think you spot like another book underneath some of the dust, like near one of the beds in the side of the room, that you proceed to like pull out and like open. It's a much thinner volume than the other ones that you got upstairs. But as you like wipe the dust off the top of it, do you speak Goblin?
No.
Okay. It's written in Goblin. But though there is
Sylvan,
one
Celestial, Elvish.
Okay, so you, I think, would like, you're like, but there is one word on the cover. As you're like thumbing through the pages of Goblin, you're like, shit, I can't read this. But you like wipe the dust off the cover and look down, and the title of the book is Snotgrog.
Okay. I think if I have 10 minutes, I'm going to ritual cast Comprehend Languages.
Snotgrog?
Snotgrog.
Grog.
Yeah.
Great.
And so Doc's going to begin ritual casting Comprehend Languages. What about the rest of you?
I think Lux is like still blinking at the light, probably. And then eventually we'll turn back.
Yeah, I think at this point, like, Reg is like, in as much as he can snuck up on her.
Yeah, so you turn around and Reg is like,
Reggie, I can't. It's really bright. It's got the little stars in my eyes, you know.
It's really bright. I got the stars. You're briefly blinded by the light.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I see. I just had a completely non-sequential thought.
Was
I
it that
believe
she's wrapped up like a deuce, another runner in the night?
Yeah.
That's probably.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
Mostly it was just a brief vision of you with bright starlight in your eyes, and almost glowing energy coming out of your entire body. I don't know what came over me to think that, but regardless, you, I think, will have a difficult time getting through this without some sort of arcane means. I believe I have the ability to remove it, but perhaps we should wait for Doc. I believe she's focused on something for the moment.
Yeah.
And I think Doc is just in a corner, like making goblinoid type noises as she's like slowly like getting the language over the 10 minutes. Just like talking.
Yeah.
Yes. Fiera, where are you?
So you guys have another like 10 minutes that you're basically like hanging out, waiting for Doc to finish. Are you doing anything notable? Are you guys digging around or rooting around through this stuff at all, or are you just hanging out?
Lux will certainly get bored and start to like just like rifle through things randomly. Absolutely, yeah, for sure. Yeah, unless Reggie like keeps her occupied or something.
I think Reggie would keep her occupied briefly. I think at DM's discretion here, I think he would ask Lux a question while we wait, and you just say, so through all of your travels through the world, aboard the what was the Peregrine? Or, is that what it was? Yes. You would. Did you not go to school? Were you not given classes?
No.
So you learned simply by
watching, observing, doing. Yeah.
Street smarts, baby.
She says in Goblin.
My mom was really good at talking and stuff to people. My dad was really good with like the flying and the mechanical bits, and like we had all sorts of stuff that they would trade, and it was really cool. And Yeah.
And you learned from others just picking it up.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
This is certainly remarkable. There are stories in our history as Giff-Q of people such as yourselves, of autodidacts, as they're called. People who teach themselves and learn not through rigorous study and structure, but rather through exploration and learning. I was always quite marveled at those people, sort of Renaissance people, so to say, if that word means anything to you. Quite impressive.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't know. Just kind of pick stuff up. But, like, so you learned everything by, like, reading and stuff?
Oh, yes, mostly from books and lessons and study, a bit of mentorship.
How long did you do that for?
My whole life.
Your whole life? Did you ever have any time when you weren't going to school? What did you do when you weren't going to school? Didn't you go out and play or do anything?
There were schoolyard activities.
Right, I forgot about the fun thing. About doing things just for fun.
Oh, no, I certainly had fun as a child, as much as anyone could.
As much as anyone could. That's what you're supposed to do when you're a kid.
It is different when you are a Giff-Q. Group activities present challenges and risks at times, and so we do not partake in them regularly. We are often found
ourselves. Did you like wizards duels and stuff with all your magic?
Oh no, there are rules strictly against using magic in any sort of offensive way.
They didn't teach you how to use.
Well, yes, I did learn a bit of the arcane, of course. What I'm about to show you was in part built upon what I learned in school, but to use it in any sort of elective way would be simply unacceptable.
That's crazy. Hey, Doc, you almost done over there?
And
yes, I'm boring her.
Point, Doc, that you begin sort of like panning through the pages of the book, and you realize this is a step-by-step manual on how to brew. You're not entirely clear whether it's a cleaning solution or a potential type of alcohol called snot grog, fabricated by goblins across the known realms. The text actually very long, as you make out the very many different ways depending on how you could fabricate it, because there appear to be a multitude of separate formulas, but whether you need to clean your wounds, to blow something up, or to get wrecked really fast, snot grog apparently holds the key to all of these myriad secrets. And you see that the entire back third of the book is merely a list of applications that you can utilize snot grog for once fabricated.
Excellent.
Incredible.
And with that, Doc, now like fully fluent in Goblin, amongst any other languages that she may encounter, has read the manual, and yeah.
What you got, Doc?
Probably the greatest thing to ever exist.
What?
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun later, but nothing to help us, with the whole.
Hear that, Reg? Fun.
More smut.
Not smart either.
I feel like this would be a Twitch ad placement. Like, please get me reading the snot grog commercials, Bug, whatever it takes. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Snot grog, it good.
Yes. Well, I should attempt to remove this.
Yeah, I've got no help with that. I was thinking, maybe I would, but
yeah, if we do end up going to sleep, I'll be able to pop there and pop back if we need to, maybe. But we can start with trying to just get rid of it.
Give me one just brief moment to... Is there any chance that by removing this wall of force that there's like it destabilizes anything going on above us, or like the protection around us, or does it feel part of the life support system in any way?
You know that all objects traveling through space create an air bubble around them because science. And so you're certain that
don't think about it too hard.
Even should you like remove the ceiling of the upper levels, that there will at least be air like sustained around this bubble, though it is a very notable point that you bring up. Now, it's a large asteroid, meteor, whatever, and will create a commensurate air bubble to keep you all like alive, but the air will slowly burn out over time. Part of like the process of the Spelljammer ship is like re-entry to a planet allows like the air to all refresh and recirculate, allowing you to like take these long journeys. So it will start a timer, so to speak, right? It does begin like ticking of the clock of like, how much air do we have here? But like also like, you know, you guys are all organic beings who need food and water and stuff too. And I don't know like how many of those supplies you necessarily are carrying on your back. That said, you don't feel like it's going to create a vacuum where you're all going to float away and die or anything like that.
Well then, there is a small possibility that we could be starting a countdown toward my asthmatic death here, but
we've got like 6 portals upstairs. We can get out of
fine.
here.
Yes, I know you're going to say go, so let's go.
And very notably, Reginald, as Lux says this, like something clicks in your mind where you remember like seeing like barriers between the portals, except for the one you came through, and you're like, oh shit! If I dismiss like all of these, probably we'll have access to all the portals.
He does not say that out
loud. Noted.
To the Chaos Twins over here? No.
The Chaos Twins.
He will place that card on the table at the appropriate time. And he will go ahead. Do I gain any benefit from casting this at 4th level? I guess it doesn't matter. I'm using a 4th level spell slot.
Like lowers the DC by 1 or something.
Let's see. Let's see here. You automatically into a 4th level or higher. Yeah. Okay. So I am casting Dispel Magic using my 1 4th level spell slot.
Okay. As you unleash your magic, Wall Force is a higher level spell slot than 4th, so you should roll.
Yes. And let me just make sure
you have weird war magic things that you might be able to apply. I don't know if that's helpful.
Definitely do. The question is, do I have anything that I need to do in advance of that? Which I don't think I do. So I will simply roll, and then we shall see.
And I think as you begin the casting, as you're going through the process of the rolling, you feel this as you're like kind of like reaching out, like the beginnings of the casting of the dispel magic, almost like connecting like a conduit to the magic itself. And you're like sensing it. You sense that like, gosh, it's old and it feels weak. But go ahead and roll.
Yeah. I just one small note. Keeping thing I used the Pearl of Power at some point to gain a 3rd level spot as well, but I am going to use a 4th level spell. Okay, I am rolling an basically spell casting roll. Is that what I'm doing? Like a Arcana check essentially?
Ability check. It's just a straight intelligence roll.
Straight intelligence check. Thank you.
24. And so as you like reach out, beginning to like unweave, it's almost like pulling like one thread on a sweater and like snapping it, right? As you like grab both edges and begin to like kind of pull, unfurling and unraveling the binding of this ancient woven magic in this place. Very suddenly, as soon as Reginald starts doing this, you feel the floor almost like fall out underneath your feet. All of you kind of like dropping back down to the ground as the wall of force kind of like vanishes and you like fall a little bit of a gap to it. Dust sort of like falling down into the like open stairwell beneath you. You hear the sound from up above you of like almost like a popping sound, like but much like louder, almost like echoing through like down the stairwells. This odor comes up from the floor downstairs of almost like damp, moist earth, like fungus mildew almost, maybe a little bit. It smells musty and like a closed off old kind of damp space. This purplish light infused with turquoise radiating up from beneath you.
And if I could,
mm-hmm.
I think at the like toward the tail end of that spell, he's kind of pulling at the threads of the weave and amassing and rolling it like a ball of twine as he's kind of twisting it around with his hands. And then it eventually comes up into like a shining ball of arcane energy, which he then compresses with one hand and then presses down into the Astromancy archive in order to give it a power surge charge for future use.
Hungry magic user. Yeah, I love to see it. As you like capture the essence of this magic back into yourself, you have dispelled the wall of force preventing you from traveling further.
Let's go.
Okay. As you guys begin descending the stairwell down, you like walk down like the stairs. The stairwell extends for about like 10 feet, and then you realize there's a ladder dropping off like straight down. The light kind of like emerging up from the bottom, like purplish with like this almost like turquoise kind of glow suffused through it. Who wants to go down first?
Me.
Yeah. Yes. Well,
I just think Lux is like just extra bouncy.
Eager beaver.
Stuck on this rock and is not good at looking through old musty papers and books.
Yeah.
And just wants to explore.
Lux, like zooming down the ladder. Who's following? I'm imagining Doc's probably right behind her, Reggie in the back.
Yeah. I think Waffle is flying down and just in front of Lux.
Got it.
Being his little vigilant self.
Okay, got it. So the three of you begin like emerging down. Reginald, just as you're like kind of getting onto the ladder and starting to lower yourself, you hear the thudding of like Lux's feet on the ground, Waffle surging out in front of you. And so the three of you, as you emerge down this ladder into this lowest chamber, you land on like a platform of wood. Okay. Around you is what appears to be like a natural kind of like stone cave, much different than the fabricated rooms up above you. The wooden platform, like a solid 4 or 5 feet up off the ground of the stony floor beneath you. As you turn, looking off to your right, you see glowing these like huge purple kind of stones, like crystals almost, with this light emerging up out of them. One of them definitively carved and chipped into the shape of a throne, a chair sitting in the corner of the room. Wrapped around it, almost emerging from both sides of it, this crystalline throne fenced off by like a small wooden almost fence, but emerging from around it are the bones of a massive creature. huge, extending, solid 100 and some feet in an arch around the length of the room. It is clearly the bones of a dead dragon. The like crystals kind of like rising up out of like the back section of it. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the room, there are all these like wooden branches that have been like built almost like a mosaic attached to the wall, and you see on each of them inscriptions, runes, sigils, arcane formula, and sitting on a pedestal on like this big kind of like shimmering plate of quartz underneath it, you see a turquoise shimmering orb glowing at the top of the pedestal. And I think as soon as Lux's feet touch the ground, you hear the sound of like whooshing, the air swirling and surging around you in various directions. What do you guys want to do?
Brace yourselves.
Holy moly, what is going on down here?
Reg is preparing a firebolt. I mean, yeah, he's like was drawn to the thing, but now he's like, okay, now there's another swirling orb. Shit.
Yep, Doc.
I think, Doc is just very like fascinated and like wants to approach the orb.
Mm-hmm.
Doc, you like hit the ground behind Lux. You like start like moving towards the orb, like hopping down off onto the stone. As Lux, you step forward towards this dragon skull. Reginald, you're able to like get your feet planted firmly on this platform underneath you. As like the wind now is picking up, your hair starting to like whip around you, the tweed coat like fluttering against you, Reginald, but like the turquoise orb just kind of glowing silently as like you suddenly from behind you, Doc, next to you, Lux, to your side, Reginald, you see this very familiar kind of substance rising up from around the bones of the dragon. At first, it looks almost like smoke or fog or vapor, but it starts to like coalesce, gaining this kind of viscosity, almost like there's mass to it as it starts to fill itself out. And I think rising next to a lot of you, this spectral ectoplasmic mass that just starts to get like bigger and bigger until it begins to gain like definitive shape, like rising up out of the shoulders, almost like points. These bat-like wings begin emerging. I think legs start like forming out of the lower section, part of it like sinuous extending out of the front of it as this spectral dragon, like a ghost, rises into the room next to you all, and a voice kind of booms, filling the chambers. You return for me again, interlopers. Timeless our battle. You will have my death again.
I don't think we want that. Actually, we're not.
Who are you?
We just got here.
Yeah.
We didn't do this to you.
Mm-hmm.
Life. You yet live. I sense the heat of your blood. Who are you? How have you come here?
Axed by accident. We're actually not really sure.
Yeah. We sort of, got brought here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We're the crew of the Dragonfly.
Yeah.
Reg eyes the orb briefly.
You look back towards the orb, and I think Reginald, as you glance back towards the orb, roll a perception check. And I think that as you say that, we're the crew of the Dragonfly. We got here by accident. I think like the ghostly dragon's face looming down towards you, the spectral maw, its head bigger than either of you, both of you put together. I think it like blinks at you like, wait, really? You all just came here by accident?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's entirely ridiculous. I've been trapped down here, cursed for thousands of years, and all of you just came here by accident?
Well, we don't know if it's accident. We know that we kind of set in motion some pretty important stuff in the galaxy when we started adventuring, but we don't really know.
Reginald, you see the orb blink at you for a second. A pupil like emerges down the length of you, like almost like a little kid sleeping. Like it peaks for a second, then it's like snapshot really quickly. It's like this ghost dragon is like,
oh my gosh!
Wait, this is entirely impossible. A lot of you truly just. You've been doing important things in the galaxy, and then you just wandered in here by accident. How did you get past the prison? I have been imprisoned.
Oh, Reg just got rid of it.
Yep.
It was actually not that hard. He's pretty smart.
Yeah. What's your name?
Well done, Reg.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Oh, come on, Reg. Keep up.
Yeah.
Relax.
You know,
everybody relax.
What's your name? What's your name?
My name?
Yeah.
Well, what are your names?
I'm Lex.
Doc, Waffle.
You know Reg now.
And I think he like literally like blinks and shakes his head to see like.
I promise he is actually quite smart and can normally.
Very smart. So probably, yeah, the smartest aside from Doc because she's the best. Okay.
What is that? What is that?
It's almost as if you could like put a number to how smart we are, that we were like equally smart. But yeah, it's fine.
I am a dragon. I am a dead dragon trapped in this ghostly imprisonment. My name is Ulanirix.
Whoa.
Is that all right, Reg? Just relax. I realize there is typically great animosity between the undead and the living, but I have no desire for your blood or your bodies.
That's great. So you're not like an evil dragon. So are you like
no.
the Synod? Are you like the glimmering? Are you the glimmering Synod?
Oh my great stars! The glimmering Synod. You know the glimmering Synod. There is yet hope.
Yeah. That's kind of what we're the whole thing. That's what I'm talking about. Like doing the stuff. You know, we're fighting like the tides of darkness and like all that kind of stuff.
This is I'm not sure of the tides of darkness. I'm Ulanirix, the gatekeeper. I was called before they hunted me down and killed me. But
who hunted you?
To what?
Yeah. Oh, good question.
Also, who killed you? Also, can we help you set free? I have so many questions.
Also, why is there a throne that you're around?
Also, what is that orb there? That's swirling.
Yeah.
What's important?
Oh, that is one of the orbs of knowledge.
Yes.
I believe that it was permanently affixed here in order to some part of the arcane.
Is it going to try to kill us?
No, that's the other one. Dottie.
We destroyed that one. Yeah.
The Dark Occult Transcription Index.
Yes,
it killed all the people who lived here. Actually, quite mercilessly, it attacked and murdered them in their sleep. Though I was already dead by that point and have little actual compassion for their going.
How long have you been dead?
Me?
Yeah. Like 4,000 years?
Roughly, yes. Okay. It's hard to keep track of time when you're dead.
Super
actually,
fair. Yeah,
really importantly, actually, my killers are still here, trapped with me in eternal torment. Every rotation around the sphere, they remerge and we battle again. I thought that you were them, and we had to go through the motions. It's a whole thing. Actually,
that kind of sucks.
Yes,
but probably the skeletons that we already fought, or no, they're like still going to come out.
More like me. No, this is not
ghosty.
Well, I was the gatekeeper of actually. I don't know that any of you know this, but within the center of every star is in fact a gate to entire another reality and greater existence. Quite incredible to imagine the myriad of stars. They often
Lord drop.
Yes, they often close, leaving the mass of the star behind. And I was one such dragon, the last star dragon that I believe
You're
was left.
Star dragon?
Well, not necessarily anymore, quite unfortunately,
once a
as
star
I
dragon,
was
always a star dragon.
killed. So there is that. I was destroyed, and I am certain that I was the last living one of my kind in the sphere at the time.
All right. Wait, let me get this straight. Inside of every star.
Well, more appropriately, the birth of every star is the emergence of a portal, and the star forms around it. Often they close before the star's death.
The birth of every star is a portal. Wow. Whoa, that's so crazy.
Yes.
Stars and portals are like the same thing.
Do you know this thing is supposed to be apparently careening through space, going to destroy all known life? If we sit in the chair, do you think we could stop that from happening?
Perhaps
you know anything about that?
Was the work of Aimric, the Nihilists, actually. They became quite radicalized after Fred left, that bastard. Yes, they decided, well, they actually inferred quite accurately that this myriad of portals, should they make contact with the edge of the sphere, that it would unravel the thin barrier holding this entire system together and lead to the destruction of all the planets in this world, possibly many others.
Wow. Yeah, what is this place?
What is this place?
Why does it have so many portals on it and stuff?
Fred Cynic's great supposition, taken to extreme measure after his leaving. The Cynics hunted me down and captured me, and they then, killed me here and used my essence to open the portals.
Wow.
Yes, that's what I said, amongst a great many other less savory things.
Is there a way that we can, set you free? And would that do anything to the portals?
Well, with my death, the portals were forged. My essence fuels the great crystals, I believe, that are tethered outside. So the portals are here to stay regardless of my duration.
I mean, you're welcome to hang out. You seem really cool. You're the nicest ghost dragon that we've met.
My existence is torment. Aww. It is a living reminder of my death, my defeat, the potential annihilation of all my kind. The only hope I have left is the eggs, but they knew where they were when they left. The last of the Nihilists, when they left here, they were searching for the Dragon Star. It was called Eerie Small in another name. They knew it only as that title. The Dragon Star was where I left my last clutch before I was taken and destroyed. You can set me free, but it will mean that you need to fight.
Fight them? You? What?
My killers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, bring it on. I mean, they seem shitty, so yeah.
Yeah, they do seem pretty bad.
Wrench, like a jaw dropped, just frozen throughout.
So, just so you know, we were on a planet called Lun, where Ballistrastrand was. You know Ballistrastrand?
Of course, I remember her. Okay. One of the true greats. She was instrumental.
Yes, great. So yeah, it's been a while, unfortunately, since she died. But we went to Lun and we freed one of the primordials there that was trapped by Emraxis and the Tide of Darkness. And we killed Emraxis and we saved some of the dragon eggs that they had stolen. So just maybe that'll bring you a little bit of comfort. But we did kind of do a little something about that and are continuing to do something about that.
So you are dragon slayers?
I mean, only ones that, like, a couple, and they tried to, kill us first.
We are not all of an affectionate disposition. Such things are understandable. Well, this is much indeed. I know some of the realm of shadows and what happened there, the corruption of the Ziri engines. I recall all of that, but
Part of the realm of shadows.
There is a powerful kingdom there ruled by the Queen of the Netherdark. The Shadowkai, once they mastered the Ziri engine, were always expected to return in some number. They, I believe, were prisoners of that place at first, but this millennia of captivity have driven them to a perspective of conquest. We always imagined that they would return as great invaders, terrible fleets.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
What? Where can they invade to?
The ways through are thin now. The portals are, well, specific. The ways to the Shadow Realm held back, but there were a number of developments. Novik, his constructions from Lund.
Yeah, the intergrade transfers. They're trying to get the intergrade transfers so that way they can probably set them to the Shadow Realm and get their way over.
That would facilitate their exodus en masse, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, any individuals or small numbers might be able to transport themselves to or from anywhere, really, but for them to invade with any numeric superiority, they would need continuously held open portals, the intergrade transfers, exactly.
Yep. And they were specifically targeting Lund because that was like the headquarters, right?
Yes, but as I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong here, this is all very new. This was not in any of the books that I read. The Shadow Realm is a copy, in a way, of our own existence. For each place here, there is a commensurate place there. And the boundary, the veil between them can be quite thin and unpredictable at places, yes?
Mm-hmm.
That is entirely accurate, yes.
And so even a civilization, a planet that is beautiful and peaceful and lovely is but inches away from this destructive force.
They are overlaid, yes. They are. And I think it, takes its spectral hand and passes it down, through your body, Reginald. They are in the same place at the same moment, if you can believe.
Reggie, I'm confused. You didn't know this? You've seen me walk through reality multiple times.
Well, it sounds as though he did know it. He is merely reconciling with the truth of it.
That's fair.
Walk through reality, whoop the ghost gravity.
There are...
Did you bring spaghetti?
There are truths about existence that one may know but choose not to accept.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least think about. And that is a reasonable strategy until confronted with it right in front of us.
That's super fair. I'm really sorry for being insensitive.
The orb, Dottie. It endures.
Yes, what of that twat?
No, we
it's
killed
gone.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Smashed it to
It
Death
was
smash,
the one.
never to return.
It
Got what it deserved.
corrupted Aemric. It led them to their ends, their pursuits. implanted this notion of the destruction of all worlds. It killed the men upstairs. It was a dangerous object. Corrupted.
Now, would you say not all orbs? Or if, say, we were to have encountered other orbs, should we be concerned of their eventual corruption and mass murdering of all of us?
Yeah.
My understanding of the orbs is limited to what I knew when I lived. It has been a long time, but they were never intended to be sentient in such a way. Some of the advanced versions were given meager intelligence to pursue their own accumulation of knowledge. I believe that selecting one of them to transcribe the multitude of dark occult text gathered from the various worlds may have been a poor decision in retrospect. I have never seen nor known nor heard of an orb that was as overtly motivated as the Dark Occult Transcription Index.
So, what's that one?
It was forged from my heart when it was torn from my still living body. And I think that you hear at this point, yes, and perhaps we will forge more from these warm souls who have broken our pattern. Fell worm.
Whoa.
As I think that you see this figure rising up, like blue, spectral, ethereal, with this kind of like red glow emerging from its center, as it were, here from like the far corner of the kind of room, as it comes like striding forward.
And I think, if you will, I mean, Rich, if you got a thing, do the thing.
No. Yeah, go.
But I think if not, like Reginald's going to literally turn to the left and go, ah, yes, clarity, and literally throw a fireball.
Excellent. Okay, yes. Dare I say, my friends, but is this where we leave our adventurers tonight?
Oh,
Rich!
No.
So mean.
They're like, F that. We want to roll initiative.
They got no spell slots. Got nothing. Let's
up to
go.
you. I mean, your table.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah. Cliffhanger.
I'm good to go, though it's a very dramatic cliffhanger. Here's the thoughts moving through my mind, is that as of next week, we may have some resolution. I'm like, what the fuck happened to Reya?
We have our paladin.
Also, you have a paladin in play, as I know you guys are pushed with the like no spell slots, whatever it is. That said, I'm perfectly good to roll right here.
Oh, man.
You want to roll? We roll.
Should we roll to roll?
Can we roll to roll? I'm almost wondering, like, can we get away with one round? Can we get away?
We sure
with
can.
One
Just
round.
to fire it off.
We sure can, baby.
I like it.
We
see
make
how
the
this first
rules.
round goes, and then really leave people in suspense.
I am okay with a mid-combat cliffhanger at whatever point you, the DM, decide.
Yeah,
I'm down.
I like that.
Let's roll.
Oh,
that seems
wow!
That seems fun.
What a start!
Oh, well, that's gonna be rough.
I still beat you, and I didn't even get a 20.
Okay. So, with that,
Are we allowing me a first actor advantage or not?
I will give it to you because the drama was too good. Go for it, Professor. Make your firebolt attack.
It's just a firebolt. That's it. It's
19.
13 fire damage.
Absolutely hits as like the fire like hammers into this wraith-like figure for how much? 19, you said?
13 points of damage, 19 to hit.
13 as the fire like hammers into this wraith-like figure that you get the impression was about to start monologuing like a supervillain. Things pop off immediately into action. With that, hold on one second. Let me get my other one. Where did I go here?
And I just have to say, like, throughout this entire exchange, like, Reginald has had the firebolt in his hand. Like, he is like looking left and right, even to put at ease. It's just still there, and then just finally. And that also explains the nat one, where he just like lets it loose, and he's like, "I have no plan after that."
Yes,
I have no plan after that. Freaking Lux, fast Rangers. You beat my natural 20. You may go.
Yeah. Okay. Gosh, these are wraiths. These are like undead things.
They are undead things. I'm sorry. I know that this is quite antithetical to our mandate of whimsy. But I felt like it was kind of whimsical to have half a tea party with the dragon ghost in the basement of a strange asteroid, right?
Yeah, that was great. Okay, I think Lux.
I mean, you also
just
gave us Smut and Snuckrug, so you know.
Yeah, that's whimsy, right? That accounts for
really
whimsy.
quite
That's
whimsical.
Yeah.
Yeah, Smut is whimsical, right?
In space,
It is elf and dwarf.
Smut's as whimsical as you
Yeah.
want. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got, Lux?
All right. Yeah, I think Lux is firing off 2 arrows at the wraith that Reggie fired at.
Okay, as you're seeing these like secondary wraiths beginning to like coalesce and form in the room. There should be one more actually. Sorry. There we go.
Bonus action, Planar Warrior.
Chonk. 18 hits, Lux.
Great.
For 16 points of damage, of force damage, as you punch this arrow, like rips through like the spectral form of the figure on the far side of the room. Lux, second attack.
Yup. Another one.
18 hits.
For 9.
Just hits. And that one's not force damage. It is magical though.
Yes, because still contrast. But
Got it. Lux, that's your action. That's your bonus action. You have movement.
I think she's gonna stay there. Just hang out by the dragon.
Okay. The commander goes. He is going to. I think that he's just like, so long since I have fought the living, but I still remember. You will regret this. As it's going to burst into motion here. Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh.
As it like comes zooming along the edge of the wall, around the width of Doc, able to like close in on you yourself, Lux. It cleaves down the spectral longsword rising up out of its hands. It's going to take 2 attacks.
Yeah. Yep.
25, any critical one. They are not halflings. They don't get to reroll. Lux, you're going to take 8 points of slashing damage on the first attack.
Yeah.
At which point then it's going to use its bonus action, and you just see like almost like the sword is this eldritch ethereal kind of ectoplasmic blade, and suddenly you hear like as like these chunks of almost like crystal start like emerging up off the edges of the blade. And for its bonus action, it takes an additional attack against you with this like chunky crystalline thing. 21.
Yeah.
Okay. For 1 second. Okay, got it. So it's going to hit for the standard attack, and then like you suffer an additional point lame, an additional 5 points of cold damage as like the ice shatters against your body, kind of like exploding off of you.
I'm resistant to cold damage.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because of my armor.
So you take 9 points of slashing damage, 2 points of cold damage. That was his action. That was his bonus action. That was his turn, which leads to the rest of them. Gosh, that kind of sucks.
Oh, buddy.
As these two come rushing in to flank Reginald, and this one comes like charging towards Lux from the side. Okay. Right? Those are all correct? Yeah, right. So this one comes charging up, an attack for you, Lux. 25.
Yeah.
Unfortunate that it's not the crit. You're going to take another 13 points of slashing damage, and then these two attack Reginald flanking with advantage. 17 and 23.
23 hits.
Okay. For 9 points of slashing damage against you, Reggie. Yep. The extra 13 on you, Lux. Lux, like they're swarming these two. Doc, you are free to move and to act as you stand like loose and unattacked. What did you like to do?
Doc pulls out her battle axe and sort of does the Jasper Twilight baseball bat twirl with it.
Yes.
And is like, no. This has been too much.
Too much. Jesus. Too much.
Yeah. She's gonna swing it at this wraith. Oh gosh. 15.
Miss.
Again. 23.
Hits. The second battle axe attacks, cleaving down in this old archaic enchanted battle axe that you've been carrying around for all this time. Or is your infused battle axe?
Yeah.
It is.
Yes.
My bad. How old? That hits. Yep.
And then Waffle's gonna fly up here and attack the one above Lux. For 23.
Flanking 23 totally hits for 7 points of force damage as he like hammers down onto this one from behind. That's Waffle. That's Doc. You got some movement, Doc. You're good.
Yep, we're good.
It's going to bring us to Reginald on 6. You're flanked. Doc is fighting the one. What would you like to do?
Reginald will turn back to the one between him and Doc, pull out his decoder wheel, spin it, and then rotate it back in the opposite direction in order to activate the clockwork amulet that he has now built into it. And he will now cast a chromatic orb at 2nd level for an 18 to hit.
Excellent. It's at disadvantage, but because of the wheel, you're able to like set it to an automatic roll. You like blast the chromatic orb straight out. It hammers right into the like spectral body. Go ahead and roll some damage.
This will be lightning damage at 2nd level, and he will literally press it up against the spectral body for 14 points of power damage.
They think it's like the lightning like surging up through the body of the thing. It's like those storm clouds with the lightning like almost kind of like bursting in them before they pop. That totally hits. The lightning like surges through. Professor, that was your action. You get movement and a bonus.
Yes, the professor will step down 1 spot here in order to get his back against the wall, but not leave range of them.
Got it.
And then that is his turn.
Look at the tactics as the professor like shifts back, jamming his back against the wall. At the end of the round, there's suddenly like a moment where the dragon like ghost begins to move over here towards this table, at which point you watch it suddenly like almost like coalesce down into the table, and the table's kind of like rattling and clattering for a minute. There's all like these tools, hammers and chisels, like big chisels too, like rattling, like falling off the top of the table as the draconic ghost vanishes. That was a quick round. Let's keep hammering for a second. Lux, you're up.
Yes. Okay. Lux like drops Kadras like behind her and
No, just wait. No.
Great axe force from the Ghost Gauntlet.
The Ghost Gauntlet, the rings and the chains on Lux's hand like flare as like this spectral axe emerges in her hands. Great axe in the form of the weapon given you by Cade. I remember. Go ahead and attack, Lux.
Yeah. So can she flank with Waffle?
Yeah, she's flanking that guy with Waffle.
Let's go.
17
hits. The AC of this one a bit lower than the big guy.
Great. I forgot to Planar Warrior, but I'll do it next time. 7
points of damage. Second attack.
Yep. Planar Warrior bonus action. Oh my goodness gracious.
You got nothing, right? 15 is a miss as it kind of like rolls away from you. It actually like deflects the spectral axe with the spectral sword. It's like parrying your weapon, like the swords like clattering against each other with almost these like silent like collisions, right? Lux, that's your action. Bonus action, that's your turn.
That's it.
Okay, the Sword Wraith commander goes, he is going to just like raise his blade above him and he calls like, come to me, my nihilists. Life has returned to the rock. Taste your revenge. As I'm going to make a roll here.
Can you
1d4 plus 1. Oh, that's kind of bad. Yep. Okay. As you see like these black shadows start like rising up out of the ground all around the room. That happens. The wraiths themselves go. He did that for his action. For his bonus action, he'll actually just take an attack against you with his bonus action. This is not predicated on anything else, Lux.
Yeah.
As the ice like forges up around his blade again. Oh God, it's so good that he is not flanking you, and so stupid of me for not to have moved to flank you. Lux, you're going to take 8 points of slashing damage and 6 points of cold damage reduced to 3. So it's 11 all told. At this point, the wraiths go. I'm just going to have them go before I start dropping other shit on the board here.
Waffle,
Yes.
If the one above Lux is attacking Lux and not Waffle, disadvantage on the first attack with
Got it.
Waffle's
So we'll
deflect.
roll this with disadvantage as Waffle burns his react. Critical one. Waffle like surging down in, grabbing at it still. That's not bad. These two for actually, so one for Reginald at advantage. No, they're both going for you. You just blasted this guy with lightning, Reg. They're looking to beat up on you. 10 and a 22.
Do they have advantage?
Yeah, why is it at advantage?
Oh, they don't. You're right. You're correct. This one shifting down, the other one there. I forgot your awesome tactical positioning.
I mean, they can move down if they want, but
no. So this one does, and he can't move down more and attack you. He's a ghost, so he could go on the wall, but I'm not that much of a jerk. No, you're good. I have all this shit up over my screen. It's rare that I can ever see the screen, which is why I love it when you guys tell me what
10
you
does
roll.
not hit. 16 does not hit.
Both of those attacks miss. Doc, you're up, but at this point you do see around the room these other figures rising up out of the ground.
This is not looking good, folks. This is not looking good, folks.
This is not look great, right?
Not looking good.
Ooh, a big scary spider just crawled down the wall right next to me. So I'm also under attack. Oh no! Uh-oh. Sorry. I try not to kill the spiders, you guys, but when they're inches away from my head,
you gotta
do what I gotta do. But that one's not dead, so no harm to the arachnid lovers out there. Doc, you're up.
Yeah, Doc is going to step up and swing at the one again.
Doc has stepped up pretty big already. Right.
Nat 20, baby!
20! Nice for 9.
For 9, which is not that great, but it's fine. Okay. She does it again. Another nat 20!
Yay! For 9 and then 19 dodge as
much better.
like the first like axe, like you cleave down into it. And I think you like having fought enough of these ghosts and specters and wraiths, oh my, you're sick of these things. You're sick of being aged prematurely. You're sick of the undead. Space was supposed to be whimsical. And so you roll your axe inside of it, like ripping the blade back up out of it as the specter in question is like shredded into so much like ectoplasmic goo. Doc, that was your action. You got movement and a bonus.
I do have movement, don't I? I am going to step. How do we want to do this? I think I'm just going to step closer to Reggie.
Okay. You shuffle down in, shouldering up next to your friend, your back against the stone.
Yeah, and then Waffle is going to take an attack. 19.
I was waiting for another 20. Totally hits for 5 points of force damage as he pummels down into this one on top of Lux. That's your movement. That's your bonus.
Yep.
Reginald, you're up.
Oh, man. Calculations changed here. I think Reginald will look back at the turquoise orb and be like, if you're on our side, come here.
I think it's a big
Reginald, I think you just see this. The slit opens up in the orb. It's like an eye is like staring back at you, and I think you just see it like vibrate a little bit, and then like, and you hear a popping sound as it rises up off the pedestal. That was a free action for you to speak to it. You have an actual action?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Reggie and these orbs. It's just
It's so cute. I loved it. It's like a little puppy. It's like a shy puppy. It's just like
I think he's gonna look and he's gonna be like, I see you. And then he will rotate his arms over in the direction of the wraith and pull. And with the pull of the arcane strings, whereas many times before you've seen Reg pull in toward him pieces of space rock and stone and ignite them on fire. This will be very similar, except he is pulling pieces of this purple and blue rock from around the throne, whatever is loose, and it will begin to swirl around him and ignite as he casts Melt's minute meteors. And then he will, with his bonus action, begin to release them. Gosh, no one is well positioned for any of these.
I know. It's a total shit show for these things, man. So the idea is that they each hit like a 5-foot splash when you drop them.
Right. And none of them is not, but that's okay. I think he is going to go with what he can see, which is he'll go a splash behind the thing he's fighting, and then he'll go a splash next to this wraith to get a sense of if they respond to these meteors.
You got it. So I'm making straight deck saves.
These are straight deck saves for both of them.
So for the guy next to you, and then I'm sorry, I missed it.
And then the wraith at the bottom.
Got it. Okay, got it.
And let's see here. The first one is 7 fire damage on a fail. Let's see here. My DC is 16, so it passes. So that's 3 points of fire damage to the wraith. Warrior, and
that's a fail.
8 points of fire damage to the regular wraith.
Okay. You note that like the warriors, these like bluish spectral ones, they seem to be like taking full fair damage from the fire, whereas the traditional like kind of black shadowy wraiths seem to have some resistance to the fire damage, right?
Yeah. And I think Reg will that's his turn.
Okay, and I think with the orb like rising up off the pedestal as the table is like vibrating, suddenly there is like the tools have like started to fall off, and this metal ring like rides to the edge and then like rises up off the table and is floating. It looks to be about maybe like 8 or 10 inches in diameter. It is forged of like gold, though it's got these other metals braided around it. You see where it looks like electrum and then like this bright silver, might be platinum, might even be silver itself, like woven around it in like so much of a braid almost. And I think you hear like the voice of the draconic ghost like echo through the room, like, do not die here for me. Mine is a fate cast long ago. If you needs flee, this is the circlet of control, or the portals. Whoever holds it holds mastery over them. Your lives first. Your lives, as it's like hovering in the air. And I think that's where we'll leave our adventure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the spot.
There we go. Very cool.
Oh, buddy.
Drama!
Portal crown!
That was a really great session of D&D, you guys. Thank you guys so
That was
much
really
for being fun D&D players. Yeah, it's great.
Also, I have to remember. Thanks.
I hope that all clocked. I hope that was fun, you guys. That was very fun for me. It's always such a treat. This is really interesting. And I think it'll be good to like regroup next week. If we can maybe get Kevin in here, we'll see how many of us we get, and we can at least lock the 4 of us in. Maybe we'll know what happened to Reya by then.
Yeah, we need help down here.
Maybe we won't. Yeah, I hope that was fun.
That was great.
It's great.
That was
Rich.
great.
Thanks.
Great session.
It was an absolute delight.
Delight to play.
Yeah.
I will say, like, even more than most sessions, I could vividly see this.
Yeah.
Like through like a first person perspective.
Nice,
in a
cool.
really
Always
fun
what
way.
we're trying to achieve, right? I've been thinking a lot lately about like what makes for a good stream and like what makes for good stuff. And so, yeah, I don't know. I hope it works. I have some ideas going forward, but this was a blast. It was really
I just
good
had like
time.
a very vivid image of like a massive ghost dragon and these 2 little changelings. And like Reg is just like staring at this, and it's like, why are they so normal? Like, how are they so relaxed?
That's some really weird stuff, man.
Chaos twins, man.
Chaos
twins.
twins, indeed.
Hashtag it. That's the name of the episode, maybe. Very, very fun, you guys. We will regroup. We will be back again. Very likely it will be next Monday. But yeah, this has been an absolute treat. There's a bunch of fun stuff in the works that probably I could be talking about. But Melissa, you're always busy. What do you got going on out there in the world? Where can people find you?
Yeah, follow me on Twitter, MelissaW28. I'm podcasting about Mighty Ducks Game Changers with Kevin right now. That's on Disney Plus. Troy was on an episode. It was awesome. So check that out. And then we're also talking Doctor Who with Kevin and Adam H. So that's very fun over on the Push Recaps patron feed. And I was also just on an episode of One Indescribable Podcast that just came out with our friends Adam, Todd, and Lindy. And so we talked about Adam's weird plane idea. It's yeah, it's a bit not safe for work. So if that's anything you're interested in, it's very much yeah. It was a very weird convo.
I had a very different impression, but God bless PA in the chat. Of course, like Kevin and you guys talking about Doctor Who is delightful. As for anybody who's not really tracking it, his character in this game is very much Doctor Who. So that's kind of fun and neat and exciting. I'm very excited as like in a couple weeks, we're going to be talking about his Dark Materials. And finally, I get to podcast on a regular basis with also Melissa, which just leaves you, Troy, for my collection of like, I need a regular recurring podcast with all the guests of the Dragonfly, the stars, I should say. You guys are not the guests, you're the stars. Soon. What about you, Taylor? What's going on with you?
Asteroids.
Asteroids. What about you, Taylor? What do you got going on?
Yeah. Yeah, I have a
Taylor.
thing happening that I could talk about. Yeah, well, first follow me, Ronnie422 on Twitter. But yeah, Rich and I are gonna podcast about Willow.
What?
I have never seen the film. We're going to watch that next week, I believe. But we're kicking off this week's podcast, and yeah, it's gonna be at Disney Plus coming up real soon, and I'm really excited about it.
The one thing Taylor knows about Willow, we used to talk about it in our home game all the time, but it's a bunch of my buddies from growing up. And so we're all of an age. And so she does know my one friend, Mike, just going, Kaya! Every time anybody said Willow. It's like the most fun thing ever. Yeah.
Look, the only other thing there's a lot you need to know about Willow, but like much like Josh Wiggler, Willow hates trolls. So just making this known. That's an important character feature.
Anybody finding us here that does not know from whence we hail, the group of us are all friends who kind of found each other over at postshowrecaps.com. It's a podcast network and community where we all hang out. You could sign up, patreon.com/postshowrecaps, and join us over the Discord server there if you sign up at the $10 a month level and play D&D with a bunch of us and hang out and talk about TV. And but you can just listen to our podcast for free. So it's going to be coming up this week. I'm very excited to be podcasting with you proper, Taylor. It's good stuff. Troy, how about you? Yeah. What's going on in the world that's important? I feel like it's an important night to talk about things, no?
Yeah, I mean, mañana por la mañana hay una elección en los Estados Unidos. Hi, yes, there's an election tomorrow in the United States. Please vote, even if I don't agree with how you're going to vote. Like, please vote, because democracy is a wonderful and fragile thing. Many people could vote early, but tomorrow's the day, so if you're putting it off, go ahead and just do it. Just do it. Just get it done with earlier in the day. No big deal. Other than that, go follow my friends. Subscribe to DM Philly here. He does good work. He could use your support because, support the art that's good. And that's all I got.
Excellent. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's me, DM Philly. Should you want to hire me for your Dungeons and Dragons needs, you can contact me on Twitter over here. I should have a better email than I do, so I'm not even going to give you my crappy email handle. But yeah, find me on the internet. It's pretty easy. My DMs are open on Twitter at DM Philly. That's asteroid about to become a meteor pretty soon, according to what we learned tonight. This was very fun. Welcome to Dragonfly. We're leaving now. Let's get the hell off the internet. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Goodbye. Bye.